Hey, Taylor Rapp here from the LA Rams. Shout out to Steve Taylor, the real sports guy, and the honorary Ram. When Steve's talks sports, you better listen. Thanks, Steve from the Rams, for your continued support and love. We are taking it all the way this year, but you already know that. Go Rams.
It's Albert Prince Bell, 21-0 checking in, and you rocking with keeping it real sports. And we gonna be on these. We gonna be here a lot of times. I love the platform. Check in. It's the new wave. Like, follow, subscribe, and do all that good stuff.
Real sports. On Saturday morning, I feel good, man. I'm the real sports guy, Steve Taylor. He's the same man, Sands out. Man, tell him what we got going on today.
Oh, Steve, what a week in the NBA. The Avs win the cup, just like I told you they would from day
6
one.
games. 6 games.
Yes, you called number. I got the team. We're going to get into all that. We got a lot to get to, but we couldn't do this show without everybody watching at home. So thank you for that. Make sure you like and subscribe because we're gonna keep rolling on. But with that in mind, Steve, we had to bring him in. We had to bring him in. It's too big of a show.
Got to.
So here he is. Welcome back, my friend.
Good morning to you, gentlemen. How's everything on this Saturday?
It's fantastic because us back together. Oh, man, we had to bring Sav in because we got to get it right in the quick. Let's get it.
The quick hitters. Quick hit.
All right, guys. Well, it's a big weekend. Special sports away around the USFL championship. You're going to have the Philadelphia Stars against the Birmingham Stallions tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. on Fox. Right here in the great state of Ohio, down at the Hall of Fame in Canton. I'm taking Birmingham. Who do you guys got?
I like Birmingham. See, what people aren't talking about, guys, is what Skip Holtz did. Skip Holtz essentially took his college football quarterback and his college football receiver and brought it off into the USFL. So they had a head start of everybody. He's been tearing it up. Since Philadelphia made a slight change to Case Cookins at quarterback, they got back in the game. Case Cookins is got them up and running. Philadelphia they lead the USFL in rushing. It's going to be a tough. It's going to be close, but I got Birmingham.
You're going to make it a sweep?
Gentlemen, I'm going to have to be transparent here. I haven't seen a snap of USFL football. Not a snap, not a camera angle. Now, I hear about all these fantastic things. It didn't really grab me, although I am happy that it has played out the way it has. I got a chance to hear Daryl Johnston talk about the whole situation and the leadership that's going on and what they're doing. And even having the championship game in Canton, I thought that was a nice touch as well, even though it was something that was done. I understand in the final hour, it got done. A lot of things looking forward to great as far as the USFL is concerned. I will give them that. It's just that Sav sometimes is the last to join the party when, again, I wasn't in front of the lead. All right, so I said I didn't know. I didn't think it was still going to be serious. I see they're serious now. It's a different sort of approach. So I'm in. Next season, I'll see what's going on. But for now, I don't know. Give me Birmingham just because they're just not a city that you hear in the folklore very often. So give me them Southern boys for whatever reason. And then that is.
All right, so, I know it's the off season. but we're only a couple of months away from college football, guys. And big news out of the Big Ten yesterday. It's going to be official now in the fact that UCLA and USC will join in 2024. I heard this morning that Oregon and Washington are putting in their applications come along as well. We're about to see college football become like the NFL.
24 billion. Okay? I just want you to think about that. That's why. That's why. It's a TV contract that the Big Ten is getting ready to sign, people. They are breaking off bread to these teams in the Big Ten, and the Pac-10 won't part of it, man. USC is like, look, you're not leaving us out of that. They got a star coach in Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
He wants part of that money. He see these NIL deals that these guys at Ohio State are signing. He wants that type of bread. And Oregon, with all of that, the Nike guy, you don't think they want part of it too? Man, come on, man. If it don't make dollars, it don't make a lick of sense.
And to echo that sentiment, all I say is NCAA, live golf.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great point, Sav. It really is. But
Yeah.
I'm old school, guys. You know that. So this kind of hurts. This hurts because college football to me was the one thing that was trying to stay at least a few years ago until the NIL stuff came out, trying to stay away from the money grab and just making it about the game and about the fans. But that's out the window. So forget it.
Man,
All right.
You're part of the new media. You're not the old media anymore. Get used to it.
Hey, well said. See, that's exactly it, though.
Hey,
That's
I can
exactly
be an
it.
old soul if I want to, okay? I don't have to agree with it. I have to be a part of it. I just don't have to agree with it, all right? All right, moving on. We got Wimbledon happening this week. And how about this? I know she wasn't seeded, but I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. Steve, I know you watched this match. You can break it down for us, but Serena lost a 3-set thriller in the opening round to a French competitor who was unranked as well, but she played a hell of a match. Guys, is this the end for Serena? Is 40 the magic number? Is she ready to call it a career?
No, because I watched the match. And I'm telling you, this kid, Tan played the perfect match. Serena, she trained for Wimbledon. She didn't train for a 3-hour match at Wimbledon in her first outing. I mean, come on, Tan had the perfect game plan. Allowing her move side to side, making Serena move forward. And you know, as a tennis player, Andy, when you move forward, that puts wear on the tires faster than other times. Than moving side to side. It was just a great game plan. She just hung in there long. And then if you look at Harmony, she got through the next round big time.
Yeah.
Tan's on a run right now. Watch out for Terry. Harmony Tan.
Sav, what do you think? Is this the end for Serena, or was it just a setback?
Well, let me put it this way. The fact that we're even posing the question under the circumstances speaks to what she's done. I don't have to do a damn thing else. If I don't win another set, it does not matter. Again, people need to calm down. Applause should be going on. I have had babies, families, all kind of different stresses going on, and I've always been the GOAT. During my time in tenure, it didn't have to wait till I was gone. If you want me to be gone, that's fine, but there is no other match for me out here on this court. So one way or the other, I'm not sure that it matters. Let's celebrate the accomplishment of the young lady who was able to get the victory. And that was a remarkable accomplishment, certainly. She probably didn't expect it either. And again, minor mishaps, you had to take her to more than sudden death to get it done. So it is what it is. It's my first time out. Okay, I'm rusty. They beat me. It took them, almost killed the girl to do it. See what she does in the next match. After that, there's no more juice left in that young tank. She got her full education right there. And again, Serena will be fine if that's what she wants to do. If she never wins another major, it makes no difference. It's kind of like Tiger. Please calm down. It really doesn't make a difference. Just celebrate she's doing her thing and let the people do what they do. If Jordan could jump out here, he would too.
He
would too.
Yeah, he would.
Side note, her sister, Venus 42, won her mixed doubles match yesterday.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
with Murray.
So, man, and the beat goes on.
Yeah. Speaking of the beat go on, Steve, it looks like the beat's going to go on for another major title. He's looking unstoppable right now. He's the favorite because Medvedev is not here because of the ruling that Wimbledon laid down where Russian athletes will not be able to participate. Can anybody besides Rafael Nadal stop Novak Djokovic?
And that's the only guy that you really can look at was Nadal, especially on that surface, because I don't think Medvedev is going to be able to deal with Djokovic on that grass, man. That is its surface, man. Hey, man, Djokovic is the real deal, man. We know that, man. Novak is the real deal, man. He has the ground strokes, man. He has the big serve capability, the ability to return serve, man, at a high level, man. He puts continuous pressure on you and wait for you to break, man. Medvedev, could he really deal with him on that surface? Remains to be seen for me.
That's a good question. I'll give you another name, though, to watch out for that could pull an upset, and it's Carlos Alcaraz, the Spaniard. He's playing really well right now. And even though he grew up on clay, his game is made for grass. He can hit the ball extremely hard. He has great pace on his forehand. He can mix up his spins, and he's a great server. So watch out for him.
The problem is he's in the Rafael Nadal half of the draw, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah, it's looking like Joker and Nadal again. But Joker's cruised all his way through. Nadal struggled already, but Nadal is coming in injured, so we have to keep that in mind. All right, we got to move on. So tonight, big night for you guys for sure. Woo! I know UFC 276. Both you gentlemen, I'm sure, will be taking part in watching this. Adesanya is obviously one of the best out there. Holloway says he's going to get it done in the rubber match, if you will. So I'm going to let you two break this down because this is a little bit out of my realm.
Well, Alexander Volkanovski against Max Holloway, man. Narrow victories for Alexander the Great. Both times he fought Max. Max is going for he feels he can finish him today. He did have his chances against Alexander the Great in the first two fights. Can he finish him? We'll find that out tonight. Israel Adesanya against Cannonier. Cannonier coming down from heavyweight, and he still has that punch of the heavyweight. That's the one thing Adesanya is going to have to watch out for. Look for him to get into more of a, I call it counter-punching type of fight with him. I don't expect him to lead, but I expect him to counter Cannonier. Cannonier he's a deserving champion, but man, let's be honest. Israel Adesanya is just recycling the middleweight division. He's been through them all, and Jared is the only one that he hasn't gone through. Tonight got to change.
Seth, how about you?
I'm a little bit like you, Andy. Again, this is my man Rush. Shouts out to Rush helping me in the black and white sports, but not really my thing.
All right, let's move on.
Adesanya, I'm familiar with him.
Let's move on then.
Yeah,
I have no problem going past this one. Steve broke it down last week. So it's all good.
That's part of Between the Gloves. You guys know, man, that I really like mixed martial arts, man, and combat sports, man. Hey, that's just kind of my thing, man.
Hey, you know what? Something we all can get behind here. We gave the girls a lot of love a couple weeks ago when they pulled it off. Let's give the men their due as well. All right. Congratulations to Ole Miss last Saturday night. They came from behind to win their first ever national championship in college baseball. This was a special story. They were unranked coming into the tournament, and they were able to get hot at the right time. Great combination of pitching and hitting from what I watched throughout the tournament, and just wanted to give them their due. Congratulations to the Rebels.
Shouts out to Ole Miss, man. But you know what? Last Sunday, the curtain dropped on the NHL season, man. Hey, let's run it over, man. Your cup.
Let's do it. All right, boys. The NHL season has completed with the Colorado Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup. As we had talked about multiple times, their third cup in franchise history. They are a perfect 3-0 in the finals. Now, I will say this. I looked at some things after the series was over, and to Tampa Bay's credit, they were completely banged up. All right. Now, that's not why Colorado won the cup. I'm not going there. However, that's why it didn't go 7. Okay. They had guys with tears and breaks and strains and anything you can think of. And Colorado had guys playing with the same thing. I'm telling you, gentlemen, there is nobody on the planet that is tougher than a hockey player. Okay. Some of these injuries that if you go and look at exactly what they played through, I promise you, Nobody else in professional sports is playing through them just to hold that cup. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed in this picture, it got dented.
Yeah,
It got
the
dented.
idiot with no teeth that fell down with the cup that did it. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but to me, the difference in the series were these two games, Game 1 and Game 4, the overtime wins. Burakovsky in Game 1, Kadri in Game 4. That really seemed to propel them. And Colorado, to their credit, guys, they did not lose an entire game in overtime throughout the playoffs. That obviously is going to help you win a cup as well. And this, to me, was another great story. Nazem Kadri winning his first Stanley Cup. All the haters out there, all the people – Steve, you're one of them that say he was dirty in the St. Louis series.
Yeah,
that was
the dirty bastard.
That was a hockey play. We don't have that kind of time. Okay, listen. This is a fantastic story for hockey and for his race as well. This is big. He's the first ever Muslim to win the Stanley Cup. That's going to inspire a lot of kids to want to play hockey from over there. But gentlemen, we all know the reason that Colorado won the cup, and the reason I told you they were going to win the cup is this man right here, okay? Cale Makar wins the Conn Smythe. Look at that stat, okay? I'm going to read this back to you because it just makes your eyes pop out of your head. First player in NHL history to win the Hobey Baker, which is the MVP in college hockey, the Calder Trophy, which is Rookie of the Year in the NHL, the Norris Trophy, which is the best defenseman in the NHL, the Conn Smythe, which is the MVP of the playoffs, and the Stanley Cup. And look at that. He's only 23.
Makar's a beast, man. Makar's a beast. But, Andy, let's keep it real. That's what we do here on this program.
That's what we do.
Keep it real. Right. Okay, the reason that Colorado won the cup on Sunday is because they came out on fire, put goals up, and they took care. I mean, they protected their goalie. That have not seen a hockey team play defense with the fury that those guys played with on Sunday. I mean, you cannot score if you don't get shots up on goal. Those guys weren't getting shots up on goal. Why is that? It's because of the Colorado defense.
The defense was outstanding, but Steve, this is one of the injuries I was talking about. Did you know that Darcy Kemper had to go and see the optometrist 2 to 3 times a day, just to be able to play in the Stanley Cup final because of the injury he took to his eye when he got.
Well, shit, he couldn't see. Well, we know he couldn't see pucks because they was going by him like no 40 going north.
He saw enough of them in Game 4 to win the game, okay? All right, Sav, I know you had a lot of fun watching this series. So what are your thoughts on how Colorado was able to get it done, which I hope you won some money off of me telling you that was going to happen.
Look, no, hey, listen, man, we did good throughout the playoffs. You know that we didn't quite land the plane the way we wanted to at the end.
Okay, all right.
But again, that was really because I was kind of running around. So I actually missed the last 2 games. I missed my opportunity. I would have been correct on my picks, but that's neither here nor there. Let me get to what I noticed and what I take away from hockey now as one of my not necessarily most formidable, you know what I mean, educational platforms with respect to all things. But I feel different now. And again, obviously talking to you, you know, with you coming on the show all the time, respect for that. Thank you. You did great this season, as you always do. But what I noticed, man, for the first time is what it looked like when one team was overpowered. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have been able to recognize that until I saw what the Avs were able to do in this postseason. And it was very recognizable because I had been watching Tampa Bay throughout, and I always felt like if you didn't get the Lightning early, that three-peat obviously became a lot more likely as it went on. And it took a team playing the way these guys were playing. Because again, Tampa Bay, I noticed the difference in every other series. So they met the Avs, and they just looked. It wasn't just gassed. I get that there could be fatigue, and I get the 2 years subsequent, you know, all that stuff. But those guys were taken out, like, period. They were overpowered, like it's not happening. Even on their best night, and even when they showed flashes of that's no pun intended, savvy and dominance that they had shown us over the last couple of years, it wasn't there. Even in the crisis moment when it came time for shootouts, whatever, the Avs always had that answer. They always looked strong. I saw the difference in what, weaker skaters look like versus stronger skaters, all this other stuff and nuances that I had not necessarily picked up on before. And it was, like you said, Andy, extremely entertaining. Like I said, I feel like my education has been bolstered 100 times, and I look forward actually to the next regular season because I never came in until postseason.
Okay.
Now they got me throughout, and again, I just want to thank the NHL for giving us a better product than the NBA gave us in postseason.
Yep.
That is the one thing I want to hang my hat on. But hey, again, we did cool, Andy. We did all right. Again, shouts out to the Avs. I'm very interested to see where the Lightning go from here. Do they just give you that exasperated, clean it out, it's a wrap, we did it, and it's over? Or do they say, nah, the dynasty really is still underway?
They're running it back.
Have to show us something else.
Yeah, they've got,
they just signed Paul back, 7 years, 22
there you
million.
go. Yeah. And Vasilevsky's under contract, Stamkos is under contract, Kucherov, Hedman. So the core's not going anywhere, guys, and neither are the Lightning. I'm glad Tampa Bay did it, but you were talking about a possible three-peat, Sav. Well, here's one for you. Corey Perry becomes the first player in NHL history to go to 3 teams, 3 consecutive seasons, and lose the Stanley Cup 3 consecutive seasons. So there's your three-peat right there. And Jared Bednar, the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, becomes the first coach to ever do a three-peat in all 3 levels of hockey. He wins a championship, the Kelly Cup in the ECHL, the Cup in the AHL, the Calder Cup, which is on the banner behind me because he was here giving Cleveland their title, and now the NHL. So pretty special, great coach. It's hard to believe that 4 years ago they were the worst team in the league. I mean, it just goes to show you what the draft can do. And speaking of that, I think it's time we move on past the NBA draft to NBA free agency. Steve Taylor, what do you got?
Well, here we go. The NBA is in full swing with this free agency period. So join me, the Sandman and the Savvy One, as we break down all of the action. We call this Free Agency Bonanza.
All right, we're kicking it off with the biggest news of the week, and that was obviously Kevin Durant asking for a trade, right? So here we go. He wants out of Brooklyn, and wrong one. My bad, guys. All right, there we go. He wants out of Brooklyn, and to their credit, guys, the Nets say, okay, let's see what we can do here. Can we make this happen where it's going to benefit both of us? And that got me thinking, and Sav, I know you were probably thinking about this too. Is this a real possibility? Could these two be swapped for each other? I mean, the money matches up. Russ maybe needs to just get out of LA to find his game again. I don't know. But, I don't know if that's something you'd want to see as a Laker fan or not. We'll get into that in a second, but we're just going to fly through some of the highlights and then we'll really break these down. Gobert traded to the Wolves as well, gentlemen. Now he gives Karl Anthony Towns a chance to play a 4, which might be his best position. He can stretch the floor. He obviously won the 3-point contest. And speaking of Karl Anthony Towns, he says, okay, I'm going to commit to Minnesota and I'm staying here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to get paid to do it. He signs the Supermax extension, 4 years, $224 million or 214. It's one of the two. I got mixed reports on that one.
224.
But we got Ja Morant signing a rookie extension. This obviously was going to happen. There was no way he was leaving. There was no way Memphis was going to let him leave. And the Grizzlies are a threat now in the West for years to come because he's not going anywhere for 4 years. And then after that, you got Devin Booker not going anywhere except staying in Phoenix. And there's a lot of rumors that Kevin Durant might be headed out west to join him. We'll get to that in a minute as well. We had the biggest contract in NBA history as Jokic gets a 5-year, $264 million max. And in one of those years, guys, alone, he will earn $61 million in a single season. Bradley Beal decides he wants the money, not to win, so he stays in Washington, 5-year, $251 max with the Wizards. Sav, I thought you'd like that one there. And then Zach LaVine says, I like it here in Chicago. I think I'll get paid to stay right here, 5 years, $215 max. And then the Knicks ended up getting it right for once. They made enough moves to be able to afford Jalen Brunson. He leaves Dallas and goes to New York. 4 years, $104 million.
Who will be a bum in New York? But okay.
My daddy worked there.
I agree with you on that. I don't think he's that type of player. I think he's a B or a C. I don't think he's an A. So I'm with you on that, Sav.
It's all situational. You guys know that, man. That stuff is situational. Some players transcend no matter where they're playing.
Yep.
I get that. But that's about 10 out of every 500. All right?
Yep.
Other guys, you got to be where you need to be at. If I had played at Stark, it would have been horrible. But it went a lot better at Macomber.
Yes,
That's all I'm saying.
And,
it was a different setup.
For the fans watching the show, we got all the signings scrolling on the bottom, but those were the ones we felt were the most significant. Now, guys, I want to go back to what I talked about earlier. And, is this a real possibility? Sav, you're the Laker, all right? So you tell me, number one, do you want to see it? And number two, how does it happen?
I'm going to tell you, first of all, I thank you guys for the excellent production value. I had to have Steve make this because ain't no damn it's gonna. I'm telling you, here's the take. I put it up in the week and I just took it down because I didn't want the smoke and I didn't want to hear all this folly and fodder from people picking with me just for the hell of doing it. But again, I want to pose this scenario to you guys and explain why. Now, how, Andy, I know you put it there, how will it get done? That's Rob Pelinka's job. Actually, it's my man, the bronze guy. Is it Maverick? Which one is the agent?
Rich Paul.
Excuse me, yeah. I'm talking about Maverick. Rich Paul. This is a Rich Paul thing here. Him and Rob Pelinka will be the guy to stand at the podium to announce it. But again, let's just put it this way. And all three guys have specific reasons. When I say, you saw the tag down on the bottom, it said disrespect will no longer be tolerated. So here's the deal. These three guys, no more notorious guys in the league than that three right there in terms of, is this guy, is he box office or bitch made? All three of them got the question. You say to yourself, skill-wise, it shouldn't be a damn question, period, across the board. But they all act like soft girl-ass bitches at the end of the day. All three of them.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the thin man. The thin man. I'm talking about from the Wizard of Oz, the thin man. He has no heart.
So, bam. So, if you know that, now let's be human beings now. Now, again, we are competitive guys in our world and things like, so we take to certain inferences and certain suggestions very, very volatile internally. Your spirit is upset. Now, right now, all three guys are a joke for different reasons. Now, all three guys should be on some relative pantheon, though, for what they are capable of doing on the floor. So here, to jump to the crux, and what's the scheme? The phone call goes down. Wherever they met, wherever they sat down, they got together, though. Those three people sitting there. All right, or it could have been on the phone, Zoom call. I don't give a damn. But they said, okay, all these Skip Bayless ass, Nick Wright ass, Broussard ass, all these clowns with all that chit chat, and Draymond feel he's cocky now. He feel like they back at it, they got it controlled. Check this out. Here's what we about to do. Y'all ready to do this? Let's link it up and let's let everybody know the games are over. We mad as hell, and now we get ready to run this bitch for about the next 4 or 5. And then what will that mean? If it's 5 more in a row, because we seen the 3-peat a lot of times. That ain't shit. We don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything anymore. And then your 5 titles will get eclipsed too. So they'll Mike, your 3 titles in a row was cute. Here's 4 for you, or 5, whatever the case may be. But that's the plot, though, is to shut everybody's mouth because they're tired of being talked about. So they say, you know what? We can't really get it done separate. That's clear. So again, the mismatches and all this other stuff and how they mix it together, that won't have a factor. These guys are ball players of the highest order. Now, people know I clown LeBron, but they never hear me clown LeBron about basketball.
That's correct.
I clown LeBron about that girl shit.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That he tries to carve off and con off. And that spoiled stuff stuff that he has going. Now, again, that ain't entirely his fault. I had some daddy issues growing up, and if you ain't linked to dad, it can mess with you, and you act spoiled and you freak out. He ain't never had that. And he's always been bigger than everybody. And he's always been having everybody praise him. Sure, he's a diva. Okay, fine. Kevin Durant, like Steve was talking about, there were the talks of the thin man. He's been battling those internal demons all along. That's why he left Golden State, because another real man said, hey, man, cut that whole shit out, man. We here for business. Quit playing. You tripping. Kyrie, you're flipping and smacking and maggling and haggling, trying to be a damn Buddha. Man, you a buffoon at the end of the day. And I feel some of his concepts. I'm with him on the vaccine. I'm with him on the government controls. I'm with all that. But you're out of order, man. You got to go to work, bro. Like, you got to go. People are paying you. That's not your company. You're not Kyrie Nets. That's not what that is. When you getting checks from people, you're going to have to adhere.
So let me jump in real quick, and let me pose this to you guys. You know, there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, what a coincidence. Kevin Durant wants to be traded to the number 1 seed in the West or the number 1 seed in the East last year because he can't get it done by himself. At what point, as a man, do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I really am that damn good, and I can get it done by myself, and I'm going to say screw you to everybody else, and I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to get it done by myself? Because I don't think he has that, Steve. I don't think he has it, Sav.
Look, he's off to see the wizard. He's trying to get a heart.
Yes.
He's off to see the wizard. The thin man has no heart.
Here's the thing. He tried to show it, but here, look, in fairness to him, let me say, but we saw it, Andy. I feel like he gave us a yeoman effort this year in trying to do that. But see, the thing with that, and because the narrative is so dominant in today's culture, the narrative is, not the facts.
Right.
And again, too many variables involved in having a winning situation. You just talked about Tampa Bay, and before we stepped aside, and I wanted to slip this in there, you talked about the draft. No, it's culture, man. It's how things run around here. We'll tell you where we're going. And that starts at the top of anything.
Thank you.
So all this
I see it with the Rams. I see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Oh, bam. Durant, perfect example. The Rams, a perfect example. And so it doesn't have to take forever. Sometimes it does take a while to manifest and cultivate. But at the end of the day, you have to have it. Even with them trying to put this together, they got to lock, stock, and barrel this thing to give it a shot, because those 3 guys can pretty much control a basketball game at any point. So if they can put their collective intelligence together, and what's going to be the ultimate situation or demonstration will be the ego suppression. And I think that's what will make everybody rewrite their terms. As much as I'm frustrated by it as a Laker, because as a Laker fan, I don't want to get it this way. But it's the new culture. They talking new media, new new everything. They reverse Roe v. Wade. Everything is it's spin upside down. The world is flipped. Completely.
Let me pose this. I saw these 2 possible trade scenarios. Okay, we talked about him maybe going to Phoenix, maybe going to Heat. Let me see if you agree that this could actually happen, and he wouldn't go to LA. So Bleacher Report reports that one possibility would be that Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix, and the Nets get DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, 3 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. Is that enough to get it done? If they were to put that on the table, if you're Brooklyn and you want to compete and you don't want to rebuild, is that enough to say, okay, here's Kevin Durant?
Okay, well, first of all, Andy, Brooklyn is not trying to compete, because if they were, everybody sit your ass down.
Thank you. That's the best chance.
Ain't nobody going no damn where. If you don't like it, then don't play basketball anymore. But since the reality is, because I said it in my post, I said today's world is like a one big fantasy reality. Is what the world now is. And so I drew the scenario up, like when the Lakers do this, is what I was hinting at. And I talked about those 3 guys, because once they do a sign and trade to get those 2 guys over there to make this suitable and accommodatable for LeBron The league has to have the Lakers be relevant, man. They tried to get the Celtics in there to get that off.
Yeah.
They're back now in the story. The Lakers have to be in the story. And Brooklyn, you will take this L for the league now. We tried to give it a New York, LA thing. We didn't get it done. These guys crapped out on it because of their personal stuff. That's the thing. It was set up to get done. But those guys, like you said, whether it's the heart, whether the fortitude, whatever it is, these guys don't possess it singularly. So now they've had a conversation. I'm telling you, they said this will be the best way to stick it to everybody and smack them in their effing faces. Is when we go. Now, they got to get it down again. It's going to be the thing LeBron was trying to do in Miami. We may see something incredible. It may be great to look at, fellas. But I'm saying I just wish this was not the culture right now because your last two champions did it the organic way.
Thank you. And they got better, both teams. Man, we're running down on this, man. We got much more. Sav will be in next week. He's going to be co-host with me as Andy will be out. So we're going to do a huge NBA broadcast. Make sure that you let us know what you want to hear. We'll definitely cover those topics as well. But
Steve, I got one more trade scenario real quick. Okay, and I sent this to you last night. Miami gets Kevin Durant. The Nets get Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, 3 first-round picks, and 3 first-round pick swaps. Is that enough for Miami to want to pull the trigger? Is that enough for Brooklyn?
You said it right the first time. Is that enough for Miami? No, Miami ain't going to do that, man. And Miami is not going to handcuff their team. They're trying to win a chip. They're not going to handicap their team by giving away all of their good commodities.
Adebayo, Durant, and Butler isn't enough to win a championship? I mean, that seems like a pretty formidable team to me.
Yeah, but a year ago we were saying Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. And what did that get them? They had no depth. You got to have the depth.
But to Sav's point, that was an ego issue. That's all that was. Nobody wanted to share the basketball, and that's why they couldn't make it work. All right, I know we're running out of time.
I know we jumping out, but let me like I said, that's to add it, man. Again, all bets are off, man. These guys are fed up with getting talked about, the social media element, everything. Just the narrative, guys. The narrative right now is offsetting their careers.
All right, so
it got
Sav,
nothing to do with basketball.
You've got Durant and Kyrie going to LA. Steve, where do you have them going?
Kyrie's telling everybody he's going to L.A., so his ass is going to end up in L.A. I don't know if it's going to be by hook or by crook, but he's going to get there.
All right, what about Durant? What about Durant? Is he following?
That's the wild card. We just don't know, man. I mean, Sav brings up a lot of great points, man, about L.A. being relevant, and I could see it, but man, you're going to have to give up, the wheelchair man. And then Westbrook, and then probably some of the young talent that they got, like Horton, man. That is a guy, man, that does it on both ends, man. He's a stretch guy, man. He can play defense, man. He can have those nights, man. And if you can get him up under LeBron, I think he can strive and be, a top level NBA player. But you got to give up, man. You got to give up, man, some commodities.
I think Russ and Kyrie get swapped, so Kyrie ends up in LA, Russ ends up in Brooklyn, and I think Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix. So that's where I'm at going into next week. And
real quick, guys, before we jump out, but here's the lineup. Before some of the assets that's got to go, you can clean it all out. They just signed 2 young guys, too. Again, the Lakers have, I see it forming. They're already forming the situation, but the lineup, because if you had Durant, LeBron, Kyrie back there, give me Dwight Howard because he'll play the 5. And then I will even take Austin. You can put Austin in there to play your Byron Scott, whatever. That's a serious situation. Like I said, I'm not going to be thrilled just as a Laker, and people will try to get on me like, now you happy, Seth? Not necessarily, but I'm still a Laker. Winning the championship in LA is all that matters. I don't give a damn who got the clothes on that's doing it. But it is what it is. And buckle up.
We'll break down all of that, man. Get on internet. We didn't talk about, man, my Spurs getting up off of the Murray. We'll talk about all of that. We'll cover that next week. Sav, man, I appreciate you stopping in. I can't wait till next week, man. You and I sit down. We'll break down everything and get this show loaded up. Andy, 40 shows are in the bank, man. 40 shows, man. A milestone, man.
Yeah, we're just getting started, like we've said before. So appreciate all the love. We appreciate the support. We need you to like and subscribe so we can keep this thing going. And I'm stepping out next week, but I've got a hell of a replacement coming in. So, Sav, I appreciate you stepping in, brother.
No, I appreciate you guys, man, as always, for having me, man. Thank you indeed. Appreciate it.
All right, Steve.
Look
So
forward to it.
until next time, we
40
wish
shows.
everybody.
40 shows in, Andy.
Yeah.
Until next time,
Wish you love.
and peace. Deuces. We'll see you next week.